Denny Schaefer. He's an idiot.
Yup. Hey, everybody, welcome. It is Monday. And we are live coming to you. Oh, and I don't have my sheet in front of me. Oh, I hate when that happens. Remind me, Chris, to grab it during the break. I believe it's, what the heck show number are we on? 21?
21.
21?
21.
Show 21. All right. Normally I have it right here in front of me.
This far.
Say what?
Who would have thought we made it this far?
Yeah, exactly. Sponsor St. Mary's Meats. I forget what the liner is. It's right on my sheet, and I don't have it in front of me. You got your sheet in front of you, Chris?
Yes, sir.
All right,
yes,
you
sir.
go ahead and read the little tagline for AJ and St. Mary's Meats. I know the end line, but you go ahead with the front line.
Denny Radio is sponsored by St. Mary's Meat, the place to go for your local fresh cut meat. No one beats AJ's Meat.
Nope,
Nobody.
nobody does. And, of course, those are the words of my producer, Chris.
Hollywood. What's up, then, man?
Hey, man, I am living the dream, dude. Good weekend. I'm ready to go. I mean, I am just pumped and ready. We got a ton of stuff to cover. We're going to have Jim Huller's going to be on. He's going to talk about, the women's NCAA and the beatdown that your South Carolina Gamecocks got. We're going to talk about all of that. We're going to talk about that with Jimmy next hour. Also, I want to ask him about, a couple of things that are going on in the world of women's hoops. And we'll get his full report on the men, which is tonight at 8:50-ish. Looking forward to that. Looks like, I don't know if you checked, but it looks like Pittsburgh Rick is going to win our brackets because he's the only one. He's got Florida, but he's a couple points ahead of me.
Yeah. Unless Florida loses, well, he should still be fine. But if Florida loses, I think Susie will win.
Well, I didn't think so. I thought the most points she could get. Does she have Florida in the final? No, she had Duke in the final.
Yeah, she had Duke versus Florida.
Yeah. So if Florida wins, I don't know who's going to win.
Florida has to win for Pittsburgh.
So she can still win. Okay, I didn't think she could still win.
Because she had Florida getting in, she could still win. But if Florida loses, she wins all of the candy money.
It says the max point she can get is 118 points. She's at the max right now.
Yeah, that's as much as she can get, but Florida has to win for everybody else to get their most points.
So if Florida wins, Pittsburgh Rick will win it, beating me by 5.
Yeah.
All right, so Susie can still win. Good for her. She rarely wins these things, and she gets all ticked off when I beat her.
She did really good.
Yeah, she did. So, yeah, I should have taken all the number ones. I almost did that. If I would have, I'd have been in first place, but I didn't. So there you go. Sorry. Anyway, 877-909-1007. That is the number you can call and or text to play along on the show. It makes for a better show when you do. So please, help out the show and do that. Let's see. And we are up right now on at Denny Radio on Twitter. And we are on YouTube right now, so you can watch us and hear us talk during the breaks. So there you go. So let me bring up the texting here, see if we got any text. Nope, not at all. All right, Chris, scale of 1 to 10, 10 being awesome, 1 being a stinkeroo. Tell me your weekend number.
Solid 8.
Ooh, solid 8. You know what? Mine was a 6. And really? It isn't because, I didn't have any fun, because, I did. But I don't know if you know this, and I think you do. The last 21 days leading up to Easter, our church challenged us to fast.
Yeah.
They actually challenged us to fast just on Friday, but I do everything in an extreme. So I've been fasting for just over a week now from alcohol and cigars. And I love an occasional cigar. By occasional, I mean every stinking day. So I just went cold turkey, bam, just like that. And let me just say that the Den Man has been a little agitated from the withdrawals because, your body is still craving the tobacco and it ain't getting it. And so guess what? I've been a little cranky and irritated, and my wife will tell you. So I stopped at Claudia's Health Foods on when did I go? Sunday after church, and we saw you. My wife was very excited to meet you at Soma City at church on Sunday. And anyway, I stopped on the way home, and Claudia Health Food, she had me pick up some herbal stuff for not smoking, to stop smoking, to take away the edginess and the crankiness. And
Yeah.
I'm cranky anyway,
I
but
was gonna say, is it working?
it is. It's
Oh.
really helping. And so I'm surprised, but it did. It really started helping yesterday, and it's helping today. I mean, I was so edgy. I was ready to fight. You know, I was like, I'll fight you. You wanna, you know what, cut me off? I'll fight you. Anyway, and that's not me, because I'm a lover, not a fighter.
Yeah.
But so that's what made my weekend a 6.
Okay.
So
6
there you
isn't
go.
bad.
No, we'll get there. How many more days we got? 14 days.
14 days. I got a
13
little longer.
Wait a minute. You're going 40 days without any alcohol, and so when is yours up?
May 1st. So
why do you got to go? Oh, because yours isn't about Easter. Yours is about your premarital stuff before you get married in June.
Yeah, we did a fast together.
Okay, what is she fasting from?
I think she has like eating restrictions. I think she only eats from noon to 8. No alcohol. She doesn't drink as much as me, so that's easy for her. And then we both are supposed to be going to church together, but she goes online. She does the 9 a.m. So
Okay,
she's a trooper. I don't get up that early.
well, no, because especially if you're working in the club,
Yeah, no.
so you're in the club on the weekends. So
So
whatever.
we're going good. I think I'm at day 17, which we're almost there.
Yeah, you're almost half. Keep telling yourself that. Hey, we're a dry show, people. You listen to us, we're dry.
Yeah.
For now. All right, tonight's the NCAA championship game between Houston and Florida. But don't worry, there's another major sporting event to look forward to this week, and it sounds like they've made some changes. Check this out.
After March Madness, it's the majesty of the Masters. This year with the addition of the windmill on the 13th green.
What?
And the Clown's Mouth water hazard on 17. Making this year the most challenging at the Masters.
Ooh, that sounds good.
On CBS.
Did I hear during the Sports Center update, Chris, that they're delaying like practice runs and stuff today because of weather?
Yeah, storms.
Yeah, that's not good. Well, hopefully, they'll get it in. This is, man, I love this tournament, and I can't wait. I went years ago when I worked in Atlanta.
Yeah.
I did radio there, and I went to a practice run. I went to the Wednesday, the par 3, and oh my gosh, it was so awesome. Me and Brad Crown, realtor, man, retired. What a great experience. But the place is really snooty. I'd rather watch it on TV.
Really?
Yeah, I went once. It's enough. And, I have a love-hate with the whole golf and its history, because golf has really been a racist sport for years. And it's always bothered me. I mean, I can't remember when they finally let, at Augusta National, they finally let, minorities, blacks, Hispanic, whatever, actually play there. And I don't even think, women hardly get to play, whatever.
Yeah, it's golf.
Yeah, it's golf. All right, moving on. We're positive today. Happy National Beer Day. Let's celebrate, people.
Oh, man.
Day.
National
Beer Day.
Beer, beer, beer. I'm going for a beer.
Beer is good. Beer is good. Beer is good.
Time to head for the best tasting beer you can find.
All we need is a chair and a cooler beer.
You know the deal. Let's get a beer. Beer it up.
We've got the beer.
Oh, yeah. This is how lame I am. I won't be having pizza until after Easter, because it's hard for me to have pizza without beer. I mean,
You can get a beer.
What's
You
that?
can get the Heineken Zeros. They taste just like Heineken.
Actually, you're absolutely right. I'm glad you brought that out. A friend of mine, Rick Clare, he is the Fan Club Sports Agency president. He turned me on to that. I'm like, dude, that is really good. I never thought of that. Why don't I do that instead of sitting around going, I wish I had a beer. I like a beer right now.
Yeah, you get it cold. It tastes the same, just no alcohol.
My daughter is coming over Wednesday, and she's like, hey, you want to go to Cinco? And I'm like, oh, man, Those frozen margaritas, you're killing me.
Yeah, you got to get a regular marg with, no alcohol. Just
Yeah, I'm not doing that.
a cold
No,
drink.
just do not go. Like Sharon wants to go out to dinner tonight. I'm like, no, I'm not going to dinner. Why? I said, because I don't want to be tempted to drink a beer. It's whatever.
Yeah, that's the
mean-
whole point of the fast. You got to tempt yourself and overcome the flesh, man.
Well, I know, but here's the thing. This is how dumb it is. And so I don't know, maybe we'll get into this conversation at some point. So you're giving up all this stuff leading up to your marriage. And then I'm giving up, beer and or alcohol and cigars up until Easter. So what do we do after Easter? And what do you do after your 40 days are up?
The plan, so I just in my reading,
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to go as hard as I used to go. I'm going to stick to my tequila, but try to, limit myself, not get. I used to go hard, Denny. Not like alcoholic hard, but if I'm going to drink, I like to at least, get a little warm inside. So I'm going to try to scale it back. Yeah,
Got it.
scale it back
All
a
right.
little bit.
So yeah, here's the thing. For me, it's like, okay, so I'm going to go through this. And why do people do Lent? Is it because you want to show that all these other vices and things that you use throughout the year aren't a bigger idol, so to speak, or a bigger vice than the Lord? You want the Lord is where you go for everything. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, we don't do that. I love a cigar after a meal, relax, all that. I don't open up the Bible and go, all right, Jesus, let's relax. Maybe I should. That's probably, I'd be a better human.
Good practice.
It is. But here's the thing. What is the whole point of taking 21 days off like I am now is if on the Monday after I go right back to drinking and smoking.
Yeah.
So I said to my wife today, I said, all I've done is switched idols. You know what I've been doing for the last 6 days or 7 days? I've been an eating machine.
You're getting your appetite back.
Anything I want to eat, I eat. And she bought some Easter candy. And I'm like, I'm inhaling it. And I'm like, okay. So all I'm doing is trading one vice for another vice.
I was going to say, I've been drinking a lot more coffee than like ever before. So
yeah,
I think I'm going to cut back on that very soon. But the last 7 days, I'm going to go just water only. So
all right, there you go.
We'll see how that goes.
Yeah, that's going to be
If
challenging.
you think I'm cranky now? Wait until
get out of the way. Pants, Chris. It's a challenge, and I was saying the same thing. Well, maybe I'll just I'll have like 1 day a week while I'll indulge in a cigar, and 1 day a week I'll have a beverage. In theory, it sounds really good, but the chance of that really happening are slim and or none. It's because beer is too damn good. Today's National Beer Day, and if you're a beer drinker, you can celebrate by picking up an expensive 4-pack of double IPAs. No, don't do that. That'll kill you. Or a cheaper case of something lighter and less interesting. Now, the website Visual Capitalist, I have never heard of them, but anyway, they crunched the numbers, and the numbers on the average prices of 24 packs of beer across the country. I'm surprised. I'm surprised. The state with the cheapest case of beer is Illinois. Its average case is $16.43.
Sheesh.
For a 24-pack, that's not even $1 a beer. That's kind of nice. South Carolina was second cheapest, followed by New York State, Rhode Island, Kansas. Oh, Michigan, North Carolina, Arizona, Connecticut, and Virginia. Alaska is the priciest. Woo. For a case of beer in Alaska, $33.62 per case.
Oh, that makes sense.
Why? Because there's nothing else to do. You might as well get liquor. Go
supply and demand, baby. Supply and demand.
Fishing. Wyoming was the second most expensive, followed by Hawaii, Montana, Tennessee, Vermont, Pennsylvania, Nevada, Oregon.
Tennessee is surprising.
And Washington. Yeah. Tennessee's more of a whiskey state.
Yeah. I guess they party hard.
Yeah, so there you go. There's some fun facts for you on National Beer Day, and yes, beer is good. All right, so Friday, went to one of your favorite restaurants, Grape Leaf.
Yep. How was it?
Oh, it was awesome. I just inhaled. And it was so good. I ate to the point where I was packed. And then we're driving home. We go by that Mr. G's that lame fake ice cream, with all the chemicals that people get all spun up about, and they're not even open for the whole year. If they really truly cared about you, they'd be open all year, but they're not. They're someplace warm, and they don't really care about Toledo, but they care about you now. Anyway, so I go over to Handles. Sharon and I like, let's go to Handles. Our daughter used to
on
work
Sylvania.
No, we went to the one in Talmadge because that's the one where my daughter used to, or not Talmadge, Secor and south of Alexis.
Okay.
My daughter worked there when she was in high school. So we went there, and I got my huge 2 scoops of Spouts Like a House in a cup, smothered in peanut butter at the top. I said, just put me some peanut butter drizzle all over the top. Oh my gosh, dude. It was so good. I haven't had it in probably, I don't know, 6-8 months, maybe a year.
Yeah.
Wow, was that good? And then came home, watched Girl You Know It's True. Milli Vanilli story.
How was it?
2 hours. I mean, it was pretty good. If you like the music, you're gonna like it, but it's just sad, my man. It's just sad. These dudes.
Was it like documentary style or like biopic?
Biopic.
Gotcha.
And the guys, the actors that played it, they were great. And I mean, they really truly wanted to sing, but they wouldn't let them sing. They wouldn't let them sing because they couldn't sing.
Yeah.
Or they could sing, but they just didn't sound like, the record. And, so they lip synced, and they showed the part where the tape stuck and they got busted, and then it all, went to hell. And I can't remember which one's dead and which one's alive, but the one that's alive, actually, it was part of the movie. Mm-hmm. And he said it was the most accurate story ever told of Milli Vanilli. And, it was.
Were they on TV when the tape got stuck, or was it live?
I think it was a concert. I don't remember.
Yeah, they could have played that off.
Yeah, I don't know. But anyway, it finally, they finally came clean and said, the producers like, they didn't sing a single note, whatever. And then, so that was Friday. Saturday, my usual breakfast. Pastor Steve retired. Got some work done down the basement to watch Toops. Listen, I'm watching the Florida game, Florida and Auburn.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you what, those refs, I don't know if you watch much of the game, but it sure seemed to me, now I could be wrong, sure seems to me that the refs were pro-Auburn.
It felt like it a little from what I was watching. I had it on with the sound off as I was kind of doing things, but every time I looked up, it was some type of foul, and I was like, this feels a little shady. But
it did. But I'll tell you what, 3 words: Walter Clayton Jr.
Yeah, beast.
He is a beast. 34 points. Now, he's a senior, right? So he's going to go in the NBA draft?
Yeah, I think he's out of there.
I tell you what, he's going to go high in the draft, though. I'm saying, man, I could see him bringing up the ball for Detroit.
He just scores like randomly. It's like spurts. He'll get like 6-7 buckets in a row.
He was on a mission. I mean, there was just no stopping him.
Yeah.
And it was fun to see. I mean, man, it was just, it was really cool to see. And then Sunday, Soma City Church, of course, saw you. Then we went to Doc Watson's for some breakfast with the daughter.
How was that?
They have a very underrated breakfast.
I've never been for breakfast, just drinks.
The service is Next time you come to Soma, we'll go there after. We'll go have a meal. The service really wasn't that good, but whatever. And then watch the women national championship. I'll tell you what, AZ FUD.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. And at one point I thought Dawn Staley was going to cry.
I think she wanted to.
In the third quarter. I mean, they got their asses handed to them.
Yeah.
Here's the thing that I thought was rude. UConn's up by 27, and they're still launching threes.
You got to.
Why? You got the game won.
That's how we play.
UConn left their starters in until there was a minute and a half, and South Carolina took their starters out with like 4 minutes to go.
I mean, you saw the Duke game. You never know.
Yeah, you know.
You never know.
Yeah, you know. I mean, the way, UConn would take a shot in the fourth quarter, and they're up by 30, and
they were killing
they get the offensive rebound. I'm like, yeah, South Carolina, this is not your day. You're not winning, 3 out of the last 4?
No. Sarah Strong was a beast, too.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm telling you what, it was a hell of a game. I mean, ass whooping if you like that. And then the other thing was they kept their starters in, like I said, till the end. Again, I thought that was kind of rude.
Recruiting tool, Denny.
Is that what it is?
Yeah.
Listen, a W is a W, dude. You win, and there you go. All right, so we got a lot to cover today. We're gonna go around and cover all the sports stuff that's interesting to me, and we'll go through all of that. We also will take your phone calls or your texts. Let me check. Oh, we have a text already. Very nice. 877-909-1001. All right, we'll get to all of that. We'll get to our first break. Coming back, Denny Radio Sports and More live on 100.7 The Ticket.
Sports, pop culture, and anything that pops into his warped mind. Denny Radio is on 100.7 The Ticket.
Must qualify for enrollment. Results may vary.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-8695. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-575-8695. That's 800-575-8695. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
Danny's Cafe Rossford is one of the last iconic old-school neighborhood corner bars in the area, founded in 1934. Check out their massive state-of-the-art renovation, which has evolved into a destination for all ages, with a full stage, dance floor, and weekly live entertainment, plus the Ford Social Club or outdoor tent for special event rentals. Come get the Nashville experience right here at Danny's Cafe in historic Rossford. If you're looking for a delicious lunch, check out their daily lunch specials. Get either chunks and fries, chicken wrap and chips, or a Bummy's BLT and chips for just $8 every Monday through Friday from 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. Or for dinner, build your own flatbread pizza, grab Dutch's famous wings, or enjoy any of their tasty burgers like the Mayor Mac or the Murph's Hangover Burger. Need a drink? Danny's has 20 ice-cold draft beers plus an unlimited cocktail selection. Danny's Cafe. Online at Denny'sCafeRossford.com or located at 600 Dixie Highway in historic Rossford.
Black and White Sports is now.
Trust and believe. It's something totally different. And stop with the Eminem, because Eminem's not one of the best either. And y'all can stop that.
Dre says he's the best on the mic.
Dr. Dre is a Fed, and so is Snoop. We covered this. Everybody fool with Dre and Snoop is dead or was locked up. I don't care what Dr. Dre said.
I'm just reporting.
Dr. Dre was wearing women's shoes before it was fashionable to do it as a guy.
Toledo's sports leader, ESPN 100.7 The Ticket. Go inside the game. Sports and sports talk are on 100.7 The Ticket. This is Toledo's home for football. ESPN 100.7 The Ticket. This is Toledo's home for hoops. ESPN 100.7 The Ticket. Toledo's sports leader. ESPN 100.7 The Ticket.
The real reason I want to stop is because I'm too damn good at it. It's not exciting. Every night before I come out on stage, I'll be backstage I'm sure this is going to go well. And it always does.
Denny Radio is on 100.7 The Ticket.
That is true. I'm too good still at this old fart age. So there you go, people. I'm Denny Schaefer. It's Denny Radio Sports and More. 877-909-1001. Look at this. Chris, we have a text coming in from Pittsburgh, Rick, who I think if Florida wins, he wins the pool.
Yeah.
Let's see. Tiger posted he's made a miraculous recovery and he will be there this week. He tweeted just after that. It was an April Fool's tweet. Yes. I saw that earlier. Actually, it was on April Fool's Day that he did that. Yeah, that ain't happening. Let's see. Lodo Joe, go Tigers. Hopefully we can saw off some of those Yankees torpedo bats in half tired saw those torpedo bets in half. Tired of hearing about them. And yes, happy beer day. Hang in there, sir. You know I will, my man. Yeah, they play. I think the Tigers' first pitch is at 3:10. So we'll be on and we'll give you the full report on that when the Tigers are playing because, we're not completely focused on the show.
We're rolling right now. Great weekend for the Tigers.
Yeah, and they're in first place. So we'll take it. So we'll see what happens. They are at home. So anyway, we'll get to that. All right, congratulations to the Toledo Walleye. Pardon me, Evan Gass. They beat Bloomington, the Bison, 4-1 on Friday, and guess what? They secure the ECHL Central Division regular season title for the second year in a row and the seventh time in 9 seasons. The Walleye 43-16-10 of 96 points. Too many for second place Fort Wayne to overcome, and a little more than a week remaining in the season. So way to go, Walleye.
Shout out to the fish. The fish.
Yep. Our fish, our fight. So we'll see what happens. I think aren't they coming home this week?
Yeah, they're back at home this week. I think they have 3 games. Let's double check.
They
got 2 games.
Yeah, we'll keep you posted on that.
One on Friday and then one on Sunday. They got Fort Wayne Friday, puck drop 7:15, and then a 5:15 puck drop against Indianapolis.
Perfect. All right. Can you hear me every time I set my mug down on the console?
A little bit.
Can you?
Sorry. Yeah.
It's a big ass mug. You people watching on Twitter. By the way, you people on Twitter that are watching, follow me on Twitter. Come on, at Denny Radio and on the YouTube. All right, UConn wins the national title. Here's the final call.
And there's the buzzer. It's an even dozen for Gino Auriemma and Connecticut. The final page in the Book of Beckers is title number 12 for UConn.
The Book of Beckers. Oh, come on.
The Book of Beckers.
They sit there and think this crap up like the night before. Okay, if we win, what am I going to say? Am I going to try, whatever. Anyway, UConn back on top, women's basketball, winning their 12th national championship. They routed defending champ South Carolina 82-59. In my world, that's an ass whooping.
Oh, for sure.
It was AZ Fudd's 24 points. By the way, I went to I went to Handles over the weekend, and they have a new ice cream, and it's called the AG Fudd. Y'all have the AG Fudd, please. Sarah Strong had a 24, like you said, 15 boards. Paige Becker, 17 points in her final game at UConn. The Huskies' first championship since 2016, ending a 9-year title drought for the team. Fudd, who was named the most outstanding player of the Final Four. Dawn Staley's team was trying for a 3rd title in 4 years and 4th overall. So here's the question with Gino Auriemma. Is he the greatest college basketball coach of all time?
Oh, for sure. Men's and women's.
Seriously? Men and women?
Yeah, that's dominance. 12?
What do you think, people? Weigh in. 877-909-1007. Call or text.
I love Coach K, but 12 championships?
Well, yeah, but then sexist will go, oh, yeah, but it's women.
Still, you still got to win 12. It's the same tournament.
See, I think so, too. I think he is. I think he's the greatest coach ever, for college basketball.
Especially recruiting and also development. I mean, he has, like, Hall of Famers.
I know.
He's been just putting out there.
It
looks like they're going to be good for the next 2-3 years.
Yeah. So, yeah, I like the guy. I mean, I was tired of him because they kept winning it, and then they haven't won since 2016. And I think he's 70 or in his 70s.
I think he's the oldest coach in women's basketball.
Yeah. So he's got to be questioning it. He hasn't won since 2016. He's like, oh, maybe the game has passed me by. Maybe I need to retire and make way for somebody younger.
Yeah, but it's not like he had the Mike Tomlin plateau. Like, they were still in it. It was just South Carolina had their run. I forgot who had a run before that, but UConn is consistent. It's just even this year with South Carolina, and I know I was rooting for them, but they were beatable this year, unlike I'd say the last 2 years, where it was like,
didn't
oh,
they have
that's
one
a
of their
train.
best players go down with a knee?
Yeah.
And that's tough. And I think it was earlier in the season, right? She went down with an ACL or something.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, given if she was, but then you could say, well, Paige Becker, she's had a ton of injuries, so UConn could have been better as well.
And she had a rough game yesterday. I know she put up some points, but it didn't look pretty.
Yeah, I don't think she cares though, dude. 17
Yeah.
points.
I mean, you win.
Yeah.
A lot of free throws. A lot of free throws for Becker.
Fudd was getting it done. Yeah, your girl in South Carolina, she was whining to the refs. She almost got a tee because she was screaming that they weren't getting any fouls for South Carolina. And, there might have been truth to that.
Yeah.
So there you go. We already solved one problem on this show on a Monday. We have declared, ladies and gentlemen, that Gino Auriemma is the greatest college basketball coach of all time. All right,
if you got an argument, call us. Let me know.
Yeah.
I'm never wrong, but I could be wrong today.
Maybe. 877-909-1007. Speaking of hoops, University of Toledo women's basketball head coach Jenny Baggis. She's reached a contract extension through the 2029-2030 season, according to AD Brian Blair. They announced this on Friday. Baggis led the Rockets to a 24-9 overall record, first-year head coach, as well as second-place finish in the Mid-American Conference. And then they were in that lame tournament, but whatever.
Yeah. Well deserved.
Yeah. Well, wait a minute. Hold on. Let me finish the story here. We are thrilled to extend Coach Baggis' contract, Blair says. Jenny's first season at Toledo, successful in every way, from the wins on the court and relentlessly engaging the community to bring in fans to Savage Arena and breaking records in the classroom. She's just one win shy of matching former coach Bill Fennelly and Mark Elin for the most by a first-year Toledo head coach. The team also posted a department leading. Now, this is impressive. Now, I don't know how much the coach has to do with that, unless the coach has like study hall or something before practice and makes them bring their, stuff in and they study. I don't know. They got a 3.82 GPA in the fall semester.
That's high.
That's really strong.
Yeah.
Marking the first time women's basketball has led the department for GPA in a term. Okay, that part's impressive.
Yeah.
But here's the only question I have, and I like her. I think she's a good coach, and I think she's, Toledo's going to, keep running on all cylinders. But here's the question. Whose players did she have this year? Were all those her players?
You still got to coach them up. What was the Rockets' record the year before?
They had a good season.
Did they lose 4 games?
I don't know, man. They lost.
It's coaching, baby. Now, I don't know if she's going to stay there through the full extension if it keeps going like this.
I don't know. Rockets women coaches seem to stay a long time. Tricia Cullop, she was there for how many years? I mean, she was there for a ton of years, and Fenley was there for a while. And, we'll ask Heller about this.
Yeah.
I just don't think, okay, she's already under contract. Why don't you wait till next year? Why did it have to be this year? Why do you gotta, you know what I mean?
Maybe they added a couple of dollars to that contract for next year. They didn't say how much.
Yeah, they didn't. Yeah. Well, either way, I'm like, I don't know, Brian Blair. To me, it seems premature.
It was a good season, man.
It was a good season, but they weren't her players. Now, Heller will probably tell me I'm wrong, and we'll ask him about an hour from now. Actually, less than an hour. We have him on.
Yeah.
Listen, I think she's a good coach. I just don't understand the urgency to lock her up. That's all.
I mean, her players are staying with the program at least. So.
Yeah, that's true. I don't know. Yeah. Has she had any of the ladies?
I didn't see any
in the portal?
Not as many as the men's team. So.
Well, men's team. It's a mess.
Yeah,
but it looks like they're doing some stuff, and they're getting some recruits, and all that. So we'll see. All right. Speaking of the Rockets, I want to mention this. A familiar name entered the transfer portal in December. DeQuan Finn. You remember that dude?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, DQ.
That dude was a beast when he was at Toledo as a quarterback. And I was bummed that he left. Well, he's one of the most decorated players in the University of Toledo history. There was legitimate curiosity from the fan base about a potential reunion. So he went last year. He went in the portal. And people was like, okay, why don't we get him back? Well, if Toledo, here's what he said. If Toledo was interested in me, yeah, that possibly could have been the case, Finn told the Blade, but they moved on and I moved on. That's the most I can say about that.
Yeah.
Okay, so he's going to be playing for Miami of Ohio.
That's going to be scary.
After an El Succo year at Baylor. I mean, his first game, he began the season as a starting quarterback, and boy, he had a dream debut. A 39-yard touchdown run on the first drive, a 32-yard TD pass later in the first quarter. And then he suffered a rib injury the next week, and then he was benched 2 weeks later.
Yeah.
He only played in like 3 games, and it just was horrible. So in December, he applied for a medical hardship waiver to return. This will be his 7th year of college football.
He is 25. He'll be 25.
With his third team. So it was Toledo and then Baylor and now Miami.
I don't see how Toledo wouldn't want him back. Like, there were Finn for Heisman posters around town. Like, you don't get that very often.
Yeah, the fans are pretty fired up, dude.
So you know who it sounds like didn't want him back?
Who's that?
Coach Candle.
Huh. Interesting.
Huh.
Let me finish the story and then we'll have that. So November 12th, Toledo travels to Miami for a Week 10 showdown that could factor into the MAC championship race.
Mm-hmm.
Finn says, I'm excited to play him. I know it's going to be a good game, but we got to focus on Week 1 in order to get to Week 10. In nearly 3 seasons as UT starter, he had a 23-9 record, leading the Rockets to the 2022 MAC championship and a second appearance in 2023. The former MAC Player of the Year, all-time leading rusher among Toledo quarterbacks, and his 24 career rushing TDs ties him with Jim Kelso for most ever by a Toledo quarterback. Finn's the only quarterback in Toledo history to throw more than 2,000 yards and rush for more than 500 yards in multiple seasons. He did it 3 times. I'm not going to lie. I'm happy to be back in the MAC. There's a chip on my shoulder. I've got a fire under me right now. I'm all business.
Mm-hmm.
The guys can grasp that here. I'll do whatever it takes. Okay, so let me ask you this. He left Toledo on his own, right?
Yeah.
MAC Player of the Year. Goes to Baylor for a bigger payday, bigger conference. Doesn't work out. Comes back to the MAC. Why would he have a chip on his shoulder? Go ahead, Chris. Explain it to me and do it slowly because I'm an old man.
So you go, this is when, just for context, NIL really became implemented. So you had these great seasons at Toledo.
Right.
You want to see if you can play with the big boys. He had a good game. He got injured.
A good game.
A good game. He got injured after that. He felt like he didn't get a fair shot to get his job back.
Okay.
You want to come back home. I'm assuming, I do know from watching kind of his story, he was trying to go to the University of Michigan, but they paid the kid $10 million.
Right.
So
Underwood.
then he was looking at Toledo, Miami, and another school. I forgot what school it was. UT didn't want anything to do with him, according to him, so he chose Miami. I think the chip on his shoulder is, I'm one of the best quarterbacks in school history, and you guys told me no. And I get it. That's why I say a lot of these coaches have this my way or the highway. And if you don't want to get with the program or you leave and transfer, I don't want you back ever again, which I'm indifferent about because who knows how long Kendall will be here.
Okay. You make some great points, as you always do, because you're a lot smarter than I am. He's one of the most decorated players in the University of Toledo history.
Yeah.
He listen, he left on his own.
He did.
He can build up in his mind that, I got a chip on my shoulder. Toledo didn't want me back. Okay. Why would Toledo not want one of the most decorated quarterbacks in the University of Toledo football history. Why would that be?
Oh, because you left.
He left. And I talked to a couple of people today. I have sources over there. And you know what they told me? Because here's what I was going to do today. I was all ready to rail on UT, kind of like I've been railing on them about the interim president and how they're going to screw it up again and get somebody else who's going to, not make a difference. I was all ready to go, gangsta on UT football program. And I'm glad I made the call to a buddy of mine that knows the ins and outs of Toledo football. You know what he told me?
What did he say?
They didn't want him back because he's a giant D. People don't like him. He's selfish. And, and they're like, good riddance. You leave, that's on you, but you ain't coming back. And then he tried to come back, and they're like, nope, you're not good for the locker room. Now, those are my words. That isn't a friend of mine who told me that. But the only reason I could think they wouldn't want him back is because he's not good for the program. Granted, he put up some great numbers. They did some great things. But you got to be a giant D, man, if they're not bringing you back after that resume that he has.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And now the real question is, can you stop him?
Well, here's the thing. He's motivated. Right? He's like, oh, yeah, I can't wait for that game. I got it circled on my calendar, blah, blah, blah. Here's the thing. You know who else has it circled on their calendar? Toledo. That'd be the University of Toledo. The Rockets are like, okay, this is a guy who bailed on all of you. He could have been here, but he bailed. And then after it didn't work out, after he cheated on us and he went out and he went out and tramped around with other schools and slept around on us. Now he wants to come back to our bed. How about no?
Now
so they're going to be fired up as well. It's like, okay, we really, truly got to play our best against this guy because we don't want him for the rest of his life. Yeah, Toledo, you should have taken me back because look what I did to you in Miami. You know what I mean? And they could play twice.
Yeah.
If it's for the MAC championship, who knows?
Now, I saw him. I've seen Finn since, I want to say, maybe his junior year of high school. This kid won Mr. Football in Michigan. He won a state championship, so he is a winner. I think he wanted to stay close to home. He took the payday at Baylor. It didn't work out. Let bygones be bygones. I would have preferred if he came to BG.
Of course.
Because then it would have got very interesting.
Oh, see, that would have been awesome. And I wonder if Eddie George was the coach.
He wasn't the coach.
I know, but if he was, would he have said, let's bring him in?
Might have been different.
Add to the rivalry.
Yeah.
Oh, that would have been friggin' awesome, dude.
Man, I could write movies, I'm telling you.
You could. You're very gifted. You're very talented. And that's why I'm glad you're part of this show.
Hey, man, always a good time.
It is. We just screw around and, they pay us minimum wage. All right. Let's get to a break. We got more stuff to cover. I want to talk about tonight. Florida and Houston. Who you liking? Who you got? Yeah. We'll talk about that tonight. We'll talk about some baseball. We'll talk about the Mud Hens. Oh, my gosh, the Mud Hens sucked in Texas. We got some NBA chat. We got, Alex Ovechkin is the all-time scorer in National Hockey League. And we might even get to some NASCAR. So, and you're welcome, 877-909-1007. Call or text. It ain't going to kill you, people. It's Denny and Chris hanging out with you. Denny Radio Sports and More on 100.7 The Ticket.
A legend in his own mind. Denny Radio is on 100.7 The Ticket.
Hi, it's Mookie. Searching for the perfect diamond is about more than just the cut, clarity, and carat. And that's where Northwood Jewelers is here to help. If it's an earth mine or lab-grown diamond, Northwood Jewelers is your go-to jewelry destination with 3 generations of expertise. From beautiful rings, stunning necklaces, permanent jewelry, or even their collection of birthstones. Visit Northwood Jewelers, 4612 Woodville Road, online at northwoodjeweler.com. Northwood Jewelers, service before, during, and after the sale.
I used to be embarrassed in my garage floor. Coatings cracked, chipped, pitted, stained from years of salt and fluids and use. I'm not embarrassed now because I had Leaks Concrete Coatings. Come to my house and my garage floor is amazing. Don't paint it or cover it with outdated epoxy, but you want Rapid Cure Polyurea. Polyurea, 4 times stronger than epoxy. Links Concrete Coatings uses their state-of-the-art formula to turn your ugly garage floor into a skid-safe showroom. Links Concrete Coatings works on all concrete surfaces, garage floors, patios, pool aprons. If it's concrete, 5-star Google-rated Links can coat it. And right now, for a limited time, homeowners can take advantage and save $750 off their new garage floor. You heard me right. Call them 567-331-2050 for a free estimate. 567-331-2050. Or go to Links Concrete, LYNX Concrete Coatings.com. Links Concrete Coatings.com.
Big taste, big variety, so get ready to smile because Happy's Pizza has what you need. At Happy's, we're serving up hot, cheesy pizza, famous mouth-watering rib tips, juicy wings, seafood, game-changing sandwiches, and more. All made fresh and ready to satisfy your hunger. Whether you're feeding the family, catering a party, if it's game night, or just have a late-night craving, Happy's has you covered. And it's not just pizza. Our barbecue ribs, hand-breaded famous chicken, and tasty seafood are fan favorites too. Plus, we deliver, so the feast comes right to your door. Locations at 513 Dorr Street in Toledo and at 1433 North Telegraph Road in Monroe. Call your Happy's Pizza location today or order online at happyspizza.com because delivering more than just great pizza isn't just our slogan, it's what we do. Want to add a calzone, a happy salad, or even a hand-spun custard shake? Yeah, you can do that too just by ordering at happyspizza.com. Happy's Pizza, where great food makes every day a happy one.
Our daughter Jessie loves playing detective. A clue.
But since we discovered she has sensitive skin, we've been playing detective too.
We thought the problem was our puppy.
But it was actually our old detergent.
Aha.
So we switched to Tide Free and Gentle. Tide Free and Gentle provides an excellent Tide clean, and it doesn't leave behind irritating residues like dyes or perfumes, so it's gentle on your skin.
Case closed.
If it's got to be clean, it's got to be Tide Free and Gentle.
What if your limited inventory had unlimited potential? What if your biggest risk was not taking one?
What's that?
What if you could make every move matter? Bank of America's
I'm
business solutions can help bring your biggest what-ifs within reach. Find out how our digital tools, cutting-edge insights, and trusted expertise can work for your business. What would you like the power to do? Visit bankofamerica.com/banking for business to learn more. Bank of America is proud to be the official bank sponsor of FIFA World Cup 2026.
The 2025 NCAA Men's Basketball Tournament has been a great ride with crazy finishes and some dominating performances. And now it's down to just one more game for the title. Tune in Monday night to hear Westwood One's exclusive coverage of the NCAA Men's Championship game right here.
Coverage begins at 6 o'clock here on Toledo's home for hoops, ESPN 100.7, The Ticket.
Denny Schaefer.
Oh, I like him.
He's an idiot.
On 100.7 The Ticket.
Thank you for noticing. Welcome back. It is, well, we're finishing up the first hour, show 21. Now that I have my sheet in front of me. Sponsored by St. Mary's Meats, the place to go for local fresh cut meat. Nobody beats AJ's Meat. All right, let's talk the NCAA finals tonight. I think people are stunned because Duke didn't get in. They're in San Antonio. And let me just play a little audio for.
It's over. A return to national prominence for the Gators. Florida will play for the national title. And what Todd Golden and the Gators will be looking for now is a championship.
Yeah, championship. Idiot.
A championship.
Dream remains alive for the Houston Cougars. A furious comeback to knock off Duke and advance to the national championship game.
So tonight, the final tips off. I think it's at, 8:50-ish or something on CBS?
It's gonna probably be about 9:30.
Yeah, probably. It used to be 9:20. So I don't know. Maybe it's still. It was like 9:20 forever. I don't know.
Yeah, all the games on Saturday started like super late.
Yeah. Anyway, you know how they do preseason picks for different, sports, whether it be professional or college.
Mm-hmm.
You know where they picked the Gators this year?
Where?
They thought they would finish 6th in the SEC.
Sheesh.
Yeah.
They were wrong.
They had that wrong. Now the Gators face Houston, and their suffocating defense, and they're physical. I just got a feeling Houston's going to win. Although, remember Friday, Chris, when I said UCLA women's, I had a feeling they were going to win.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, they got spanked. It wasn't even a game. It was ugly.
I'm actually with you on this, and it's just because even when shooting doesn't transfer game to game, defense does, and we saw that with Duke on Saturday.
Yeah.
That Houston front court is locked down.
Yeah, they were locked down, I think.
And
Duke had like one field goal in the last 10 minutes of the game or something
yeah,
stupid.
when they start playing defense, they really play defense. We were talking about Florida earlier. I do like their guards, but I'm with you. I feel like defense is going to win this one, and Florida is no slouch when it comes to playing defense, but it's something about that intensity of Houston, and I didn't pick them to beat Tennessee in my bracket. So,
yeah.
Hey.
Well, how is it that Houston was 14 points down in the final 8 minutes?
I said the game was over.
I mean, Duke has pretty good defense themselves. They were saying how good Duke's defense was, and Duke was up 14 points and lost the lead and ended up losing by 3.
Yeah, when I was watching it, I was actually working, so I was like back and forth. And I'm like, this game's over. Then I go to the bathroom, I come back, it's like a 6-point game. I'm like, this is getting a little tight. I didn't place any money on it, so I just thought Duke would pull it out, but they were really playing defense, man. That's all I can say. It was locked down.
All right. Well, I hope it's not a defensive battle tonight. Hopefully, it's a little more
exciting. Oh, it's gonna be.
Is it gonna be?
Houston hasn't given up more than other than Gonzaga. They keep everybody in that 60-point range. Like
Gonzaga. Yeah.
Gonzaga.
Well, we'll see. We'll find out tonight. Let's see. Houston, they're on an 18-game winning streak. And they're in the first national championship game since back-to-back appearances in, 1983 and 84 during the Phi Slamma Jamma era. Do you remember that? Well,
yeah, that's back in my day, man. Back when
dude, you weren't even alive.
I had more hair on my head back then.
Yeah, but did you ever hear about that era?
Yeah, for sure.
Okay. Hakeem Olajuwon, Clyde Drexler. Oh, okay. All right, cool.
I keep up with sports before my time. That's how I got here, Denny.
Okay, good.
You got to know your roots, baby.
Oh, exactly. Where you came from. Florida's first time in the finals since winning back-to-back titles in 06 and 07 under Billy Donovan. Didn't he just get into the Hall of Fame? Basketball Hall of Fame?
Yeah, he made the Basketball Hall of Fame.
Good for him. All right, so it's going to be fun to watch. And I haven't checked yet. I'll check maybe in coming days. I wonder how the TV ratings were for the women's.
I would assume they were down from last year, but still pretty good. It wasn't much on Saturday, so.
I mean, the women's basketball is good basketball. I mean,
but Caitlin had, the Caitlin
Clark thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway.
So I'm quite sure it wasn't the same as last year, but still pretty high. I don't think they had as many storylines this year as they did last year. If you enjoyed the women's game, you probably paid attention, but I feel like it was Caitlin Mania last year. Then you had Angel Reese. I knew Becker. We all knew Juju, but like for Juju, she's at USC, West Coast, harder to keep up with.
Right.
So a lot of late
his
games.
Cooper Flag, is he declared the NBA draft?
He's going to be the number 1 pick. He should.
Is he?
Oh, for sure.
I don't know. I would think that, come back for another shot at a national championship. He's going to make millions of dollars at Duke. I mean, you could get hurt. Well, take out an insurance policy. I mean, it's like you can't ever go back to college, my boys. You know, to have that.
I think with NIL, it is a lot different. It really depends on if you enjoy school. Because some people don't like college.
Wait a minute. Enjoy school, like all the party and all the fun, because they aren't picking up a freaking pencil and taking tests.
No, not tests. I mean, like campus. Like if you enjoy the school you go to.
How could you not enjoy the college life when you're a big stud athlete?
Test. You got to at least keep a 2.0. Like you got to go.
You take all those classes that don't matter.
Yeah, and they're online.
I took a class because I needed an English credit when I was in high school, and this is my senior year. And it was an English credit, and the class was called Man in Sports.
I took basketball my sophomore year, so.
Did you?
Yeah.
I took gym class all 4 years just to.
I got really good actually for like one semester. I was like the man. Then forgot it all.
I challenged myself to take one hard class my senior year.
How
I took
did that
anatomy and physiology. I got a D+.
D's get degrees, baby. That's always been the same.
I passed. That's all that matters. Anyway. All right, where are we in the hour?
We can go ahead and take it.
All right, we're going to come back. We're going to talk about MLB. Tigers on a roll, and they got their first pitch at 3:10 here this afternoon. We'll keep you up to date on that, so you can just listen to us. The Mud Hens had it rough in Round Rock, Texas, and then we'll get into some NBA chat. And what do I have for the in the More department? Let's see. The dude from Miami. I'm sorry, the dude from I'm guessing it's a dude, maybe it's a woman. How would you like to play the lottery locally and you win $1,000 a day for the rest of your life? Yeah, we'll get into that and so much more. Stay with us. Hour 2, Denny Radio Sports and More is live on 100.7 The Ticket.
Denny Schaefer is Denny Radio on 100.7 The Ticket.
For the past 2 decades, KNR has proudly supported Ohio families and stood by them in their moments of need. When life takes an unexpected turn, there's one thing that's remained the same. When you're hurt in a car, you call KNR.
Got about 3 minutes.
Hey everyone, it's AJ from St. Mary's Meats. Did you ever wonder where your meat comes from? Well, St. Mary's Meats does and cares. With all of our fresh and frozen meat selections cut weekly, as well as our 33 flavors of brats and 19 flavors of snack sticks made in-house, plus getting local beef, lamb, and hogs in, we care about our quality. We're located just west of Secor Metro Park. Check St. Mary's Meats out on Facebook, and remember, we're killing it and you're grilling it.
See what's going on my
Visit this station's website for your Prime IV sweet deal. Prime IV Hydration and Wellness Perrysburg in the shops at River Place provides effective, holistic delivery of nutrients straight into your bloodstream. Try the Glow for anti-aging, the Immunity Armor to boost your defenses, and many more drips today.
My best friend died suddenly, and now his wife and kids have to move out of their house. I had no idea he didn't have life insurance. If I could go back, I'd tell him how easy and affordable protecting your family can be with SelectQuote. In 15 minutes, a licensed insurance agent found me a $500,000 life insurance policy for only $18 a month. They compare many of the nation's most highly rated insurance carriers to find the right coverage and price for your needs. In the last 40 years, they've helped more than 2 million families secure over $700 billion in coverage. Even if you have a health concern, SelectQuote agents can find you the right policy at the lowest price. Don't wait until it's too late. Get peace of mind that your loved ones are protected with life insurance.
Call SelectQuote at 1-800-480-5454 for your free quote today. That's 1-800-480-5454. Or go to SelectQuote.com. That's 1-800-480-5454. Details on example rate at SelectQuote.com.
Weather from the Jim White Toyota Weather Center. Great offers on new 2025 Toyotas arriving daily. Right car, right price, right now.
It'll be nice for this morning. Temperatures starting off cold. We quickly warm up to 48 with some sunshine. Then temperatures drop for the afternoon, and the winds, they'll become very strong. Out of the northwest at about 40 miles per hour, with a slim chance of a rain or snow shower. Coming up for tonight, partly cloudy at the low to 24. And coming up for tomorrow, 38 for the high with a mostly cloudy sky. The First Alert Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Ross Elliott.
His store and more, the Man Superstore Studios. This is 100.7 WQQO HD2 Sylvania, Toledo, a Cumulus media station.
This is SportsCenter.
I'm Christine Lisi. The spotlight tonight on San Antonio and the men's basketball national championship game, Florida versus Houston. This is the 11th title game between two 1 seeds since seeding began in 1979. That's the most common matchup in championship games. Gators have some of the best front court depth of any team in the country, and they can wear teams down. The Cougars' gritty front court is partly why they finished as the number 1 scoring defense. A day after winning a 12th national championship, Connecticut finished its season as the unanimous number 1 in the AP Women's College Basketball Poll. Practice at the Masters suspended late this morning, and spectators pulled off the course because of the potential for severe weather and 1 to 2 inches of rain. Forecast the rest of the week looks promising with sunshine and high temps in the 70s. The Masters tees off Thursday with coverage on ESPN and ESPN+.
All right.
Here we go, baby. Guess who's back? Back again. Tell a friend. Guess who's back? 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 Guess who's back?
Denny Schaefer. He's an idiot.
That would be me. Happy Monday, everybody. Hour 2, Denny Radio Sports and More, live on 100.7 The Ticket. Brought to you by St. Mary's Meats. The place to go for local fresh cut meat. Nobody beats AJ's Meat. I got to get out there. I was going to go this weekend, and I got distracted by something shiny. I got to get out there and give me some of that cherry chipotle beef sticks. Good eating. All right, the phone number is 877-909-1001. Love to have you play along through text and or calls. We are allowed to take calls, or we have the capabilities, so play along, because when you do your part, it makes for a better show. All right, this is kind of an odd story. I was up on Twitter during the break, and the headline is Carolina Panthers signed ex-NCAA basketball center who's never played football in his entire life to be their tight end.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, they're leaving
How big is he?
6'9".
Oh, well.
They're leaving no stone unturned in their efforts to find talent. Yeah. They announced today that Colin Granger played college hoops for the past 5 seasons and has apparently never played football. It's his first foray into football. He stands 6'9". I mean, he's a good sized dude. I mean, don't get me wrong here. He started his career at OU in 2020. Then he played in 25 games over 2 seasons with the Bobcats before transferring to Western Carolina for the next 2 years. He spent his graduate year with Coastal Carolina the past 2 seasons, blah, blah, blah. Wait till this guy puts on the pads and he gets hit for the first freaking time.
Yeah, whole different game, buddy.
Yeah. It's not like when you were in high school, you probably played high school ball or whatever. Yeah, you've never been hit. The speed.
I was going to say he never played any football ever.
Well, he didn't play college. He said his first foray into football. So I don't know.
Sheesh. Yeah, I mean, you have Antonio Gates and Tony Gonzalez, but they played in high school and were good. They just chose basketball. So
yeah. So who knows? But it might make Carolina at least mildly interesting just to see what this dude does, because at 6'9", that's a big boy.
Yeah, and you know what that also means? It's a lot of area to get hit in the ribs too.
That's true. That's true. I believe we're going to be coming for this dude. All right, let me do a more story, because it's out of Toledo, and I'll tell you what. I mean, you play the lottery, sometimes you get lightning, sometimes it works. The headline is Mommy lottery player wins $1,000 a day for life.
Sheesh.
Yeah, $1,000 a day for life. He won it April 3rd. It's the Lucky for Life drawing. The ticket was sold at Walt Churchill's Market. So I'm assuming that's the one over on Briarfield, I'm guessing.
Yeah.
The Churchill's.
Right by the hotel.
Yep. The winner matched all 5 white balls to win the top prize of $1,000 a day for life.
Man.
They chose their own numbers.
Man.
The odds of matching 5 out of 5 white balls are 1 in 30.8 million, according to the Ohio Lottery. The store gets $57,500 in bonus for selling the winning ticket. So
that's cool.
$1,000 a day, $365,000 a year. What will the government take? About 60, 70 grand of that?
Yeah. A good 30-40%.
Okay. I think it's 28%, I want to say.
Yeah,
I don't know. I
30.
don't know how the state lottery works. If it's
I round up, it's 30%.
Okay, so how much is that? How much is he gonna be taking home? High twos?
Yeah.
Right around 300,000 a year. That money coming in every year for the rest of your life.
Sheesh.
Yeah. Dude, it's a miracle. Now, hopefully they don't come out and say who they are. Because you know what happens? Money makes people crazy. Like the dude who won the 500,000 last week in the city of Toledo. He came out and said who he was and what he was going to do with the money and all that. And people that he thought were his friends. Money's divisive, man. You just gotta be careful with that. If I won the big one, at my age, I would probably say something only because, when you get to a certain age, it's like, you know what's up. You know
That was going to be my question too. I was wondering, well, it didn't if I ever win the lottery, it has to be something like this. This is perfect. 1,000 a day for life. But you also want to know how old they are, because that's a big difference. Every time I see these, like, I think it's like Publishers Clearinghouse or something, where they give you money every day for life.
Yeah.
Those people are always like 75, and it's like, this payout isn't going to be that long. But if he's a nice 43, 45-year-old,
yeah, dude, that's a nice change.
Yeah,
people are living. Of course, your statement was very ageist, and I offense to that comment, pal. People are living now longer than ever.
Yeah,
well into their 90s. So who knows?
Oh,
the lottery might want to take them out.
And that was going to be the next thing. How many of these people actually, live that long?
Without
It's a little tricky.
Without something unfortunate happening to them?
Random accidents.
Yeah, it could happen. All right, let's talk baseball. The Angels 6-2 wieners over the Guardians yesterday. Don't panic, people. There's a lot of season going on. Up next tomorrow, the Guardians home opener against the White Sox. And I think we know how good the White Sox are. So
yeah, we just saw that. So
Spencer Torkelson smacked a 2-run double to cap Detroit's 3-run rally in the 9th inning, gave my Tigers a 43 win over the White Sox yesterday. Tigers start a 3-game homestand against the Skankies today. As a matter of fact, first pitch is in 2 minutes, and I may or may not be watching the game on my phone right now. I will never tell. Anyway,
what channel?
Well, I'm watching it on what is it? FanDuel Sports.
Oh, okay.
So anyway, yeah, so that I'll keep you posted on that. Let's see. All of those games have been moved up from night games. They're supposed to be night games, but it's too cold.
It is
They can't deal with the cold temperatures.
It's like playoff baseball, man.
Baseball players are soft, man. Well, you know why they do it? Because they may get more fans in the stands. Because right now it's like, I don't know, 48 out.
Yeah, and it doesn't feel like 48. It feels like 30-ish.
Oh, okay.
Cold. Yeah, it's nice and windy out.
No, you don't want that. I was going to go for a walk after the show today, but maybe not because,
I'm always cold, so I'm probably not the best weatherman for you, but,
Well, you wear a hoodie and everything in that studio, which is friggin' hot. So I don't know how you get away with that.
I just took my bubble coat off before the show started.
Bubble coat. You tell people you got to, well, though they can see it, you got a bubble coat. Yeah, I got my bubble coat on.
Yeah, man. I got to
It's like you got to blow air into it. You got to stop at the gas station to put some air in that coat.
Got to stay warm, baby.
I hear you. All right, the Mud Hens. Not a good weekend for the Hens. Round Rock, Texas, Sunday's finale of the Mud Hens, a 6-game series with the Round Rock Express. Pretty much went the same way as most of the first 5 meetings. The Hens lost 10-7, finishes in the week in Texas with just 1 win in the series, and their 2-7 record so far. The Mud Hens return to a chilly Fifth Third Field this week for their first full home series of the year. Tuesday's first pitch against the Iowa Cubs set for 6:35. All right, will they move that game up because it's cold?
Oh, no.
I don't think they will.
Yeah, no.
I think they'll keep it at 6:35. And there'll be 8 people in the stands, and everybody else will be sitting in the suites. So, anyway. So there you go. You're up to date on baseball. NBA, the Sacramento Kings fighting for a play-in spot. 120-113 wiener over the Cavs last night.
Yeah.
Should I be nervous about the Cavaliers? They've been playing inconsistent the last couple of weeks.
Man, I told you it's Boston, baby. Boston. Yeah, the Cavs.
Wait a minute. Just like you told me it was going to be South Carolina in the women's.
I wasn't wrong.
Yeah, you were. They didn't win. Pretty simple. They got their ass handed to them, dude.
I mean, I always leave myself in out. So that's why I said UCLA is going to lose to UConn, and UConn looks scary. But yeah. I'm rolling with South Carolina. You got to, set yourself up so you can go out the back door sometimes.
That's true. Especially if the husband comes home early. Kidding. By the way, I'm watching the Tiger game right now, and it's snowing right now up there. They're having some flurries.
Little flurries.
But they're playing. So they're about to get underway. Pistons were off yesterday. They host Sacramento tonight at LCA, 7:00 first tip. NHL, the Red Wings. Well, they kept their fading playoff hopes alive. 2-1 wieners over the Florida Panthers last night. Detroit has just 6 games remaining in the regular season to rally into a wild card to end a 9-year postseason drought. Up next, the Wings play at Montreal, who, by the way, they're battling with them and a couple other teams to get that last spot. But they'll have a chance to close in if they can beat Montreal for that Eastern Conference wild card spot. So tomorrow night, that will be a big game. All right, when are we breaking? Am I breaking at 10 or where do I go here?
We can break now and then.
All right, then come back for another quick one, and then we'll have Jimmy Heller on.
Yeah, you got some quickies today?
I do not. So,
man, I was looking forward to some laughs.
Yeah, well, I don't know, come up with something. All right, we'll come back with, is Alex Ovechkin the real leader when it comes to scoring, or is it Mr. Hockey? I will have that debate with you coming up next right here on 100.7 The Ticket.
No rules on this show. Denny Radio is on 100.7 The Ticket.
For 20 years, Kissling, Nestico, and Reddick has represented Ohioans in every county across our state. With thousands of reviews, the numbers speak for themselves. This is just the beginning of our story. Hurt in a car? Call KNR.
Hey everyone, it's AJ from St. Mary's Meats. Did you ever wonder where your meat comes from? Well, St. Mary's Meats does and cares. With all of our fresh and frozen meat selections cut weekly, as well as our 33 flavors of brats and 19 flavors of snack sticks made in-house, plus getting local beef, lamb, and hogs in, we care about our quality. We're located just west of Secor Metro Park. Check St. Mary's Meats out on Facebook, and remember, we're killing it and you're grilling it.
Hey, dude, I'll be sending the link.
O'Reilly. Get one free set of Brake Best brake pads when you buy 2 Brake Best Select brake rotors. You can upgrade to Brake Best Select brake pads for just $10 more. Or upgrade to Brake Best Select Pro or Import Direct pads for just $20 more. Visit your local O'Reilly Auto Parts. Offer in-store only. Restrictions apply. See store for details.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Lanny went to college and racked up huge debt.
A little bit over $100,000.
For a degree he couldn't use? Now what?
I had a friend that went to my computer career.
They even helped him get hired immediately after graduation.
One of the things I love about IT is that you can work from anywhere you want.
You could become an IT pro in just months, including cybersecurity and the basics of AI with zero experience at mycomputercareer.edu.
It worked for me, and I know it can work for you.
This is one student's experience. Individual results vary.
Big taste, big variety, so get ready to smile because Happy's Pizza has what you need. At Happy's, we're serving up hot, cheesy pizza, famous mouth-watering rib tips, juicy wings, seafood, game-changing sandwiches, and more, all made fresh and ready to satisfy your hunger. Whether you're feeding the family, catering a party, if it's game night, or just have a late-night craving, Happy's has you covered. And it's not just pizza. Our barbecue ribs, hand-breaded famous chicken, and tasty seafood are fan favorites too. Plus, we deliver, so the feast comes right to your door. Locations at 513 Door Street in Toledo and at 1433 North Telegraph Road in Monroe. Call your Happy's Pizza location today or order online at happyspizza.com, because delivering more than just great pizza isn't just our slogan, it's what we do. Want to add a calzone, a happy salad, or even a hand-spun custard shake? Yeah, you can do that too just by ordering at happyspizza.com. Happy's Pizza, where great food makes every day a happy one.
Toledo's sports leader, ESPN 100.7 The Ticket. Sports fans unite.
Let's go!
There's one place you can call home for all things sports. 100.7
I can
The
barely hear
Ticket.
you,
ESPN 100.7 The Ticket.
I thought he retired. Denny Radio is on 100.7 The Ticket.
Cause I'm having a good time.
I'm unstoppable, people. I'm unstoppable, and I only retired from morning drive. Did not retire from radio in general, and I love sleeping in. And I love doing this show with my producer, Chris
Hollywood.
Have a lot of fun.
We have a good time here.
Yeah, we're going to keep it up as long as they let us. 877-909-1007. That's the number, call or text if you would like to be part of the broadcast and weigh in on any of the discussion topics we've been talking about. All right, yesterday, the National Hockey League crowned a new goal king. Yesterday afternoon, Alex Ovechkin netted goal 985, passing Gretzky as the NHL's all-time goal scorer. I believe I have the audio, so let me play this for you.
Crisscrossing with Chikrin through center. Send in Wilson on the flank. Cross ice, Ovechkin fires! Score! The chasing days are done! Alex Ovechkin is the greatest goal scorer in the history of the NHL!
There you go. 895, even though the Washington Capitals lost 4-1. Doesn't that kind of suck, though, that they lost?
Yeah, it's not the same when you win.
That's what I'm saying. They lost to the Islanders. Anyway, but the day belonged to Ovechkin, his wife, his mother, his sons. They were all there. Wayne Gretzky was there with his sons, because when Gretzky broke Mr. Hockey's record, Gretzky's sons were there when they broke it, which is kind of cool. NHL commish Gary Bettman, and a sold-out house. Fans were pumped to be there to witness history firsthand. By the way, Gordie Howe, known as Mr. Hockey, scored a total of 975 goals in his professional hockey career, including 801 in the NHL and 174 in the WHA, which ended up merging with the NHL in the late 70s. And because the NHL was butthurt, they wouldn't accept the stats of the WHA to be part of the NHL. Even though the WHA, it formed in 1970 by all the superstars of that era, because they weren't being paid enough. And so they formed their own league, and it started out really well with some of the best players. But unfortunately, they ran into money woes, and the NHL's like, can you come back to help us? So they did. They merged back. So that's why Mr. Hockey is not the leading goal scorer. But as a Red Wing fan, in my mind, Gordie Howe was the greatest scorer ever. And plus, look at assists too. I think the assists between Gretzky and Ovechkin, it's not even close. So greatest single scorer, okay, give him that. But I don't think he's the greatest points. But anyway, good for him. I'm kind of tired of hearing about it. I'm glad that it's, it's
I'm
about
happy it finally happened.
Say what?
I said I'm happy it finally happened.
Yeah, so now we can, move on and, see what happens. I'm just hoping the Red Wings make the freaking playoffs. All right. Let's see. New York got one hit, top of the first. Tigers got him out. Tigers now coming to bat. Zip in it. All right, let's break. We're going to break, come back with Jim Heller talking about the women's NCAAs and whatever else we want to chat with him about. Denny Radio Sports More live on 100.7 The Ticket.
Sports, pop culture, and anything that pops into his warped mind. Denny Radio is on 100.7 The Ticket.
If you are looking for the perfect gift for the man in your life that loves adventure, I have the place for you. When he walks in and looks around, he will know he's at his store that caters to his needs. Let's talk about the new CRKT Nucleus Frame Lock, which can be opened in 3 different ways. The new Kershaw Iridium Reverse Tonto is all stealth, on the go, and the blade shape makes cutting easy. 6 Hour branded knives made by Hogue. Hogue delivers some of the best push-button action on the market, and it is made in America by American craftsmen. And don't forget to check out what's new on the biggest knife wall in the area, which has over 500 knives. We also carry a huge selection of all the top brand premium cigars in our one-of-a-kind walk-in humidor. You will have a hard time beating our prices, so what's the name of your man's favorite store? His Store and More, your one-stop man shop. His Store and More. Visit us on Facebook and at hisstoreandmore.com. Located in Temperance on Lewis Avenue, next to Smokehouse 734. His Store and More, where the adventure never ends.
Come on, Heller.
Danny's Cafe Rossford is one of the last iconic old-school neighborhood corner bars in the area. Founded in 1934. Check out their massive state-of-the-art renovation, which has evolved into a destination for all ages, with a full stage, dance floor, and weekly live entertainment. Plus the Ford Social Club or outdoor tent for special event rentals. Come get the Nashville experience right here at Danny's Cafe in historic Rossford. If you're looking for a delicious lunch, check out their daily lunch specials. Get either chunks and fries, chicken wrap and chips, or a Bummy's BLT and chips for just $8 every Monday through Friday from 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. Or for dinner, build your own flatbread pizza, grab Dutch's famous wings, or enjoy any of their tasty burgers like the Mayor Mac or the Murph's Hangover Burger. Need a drink? Danny's has 20 ice-cold draft beers plus an unlimited cocktail selection. Danny's Cafe. Online at Denny'sCafeRossford.com or located at 600 Dixie Highway in historic Rossford.
The Toledo Air Show, featuring the United States Air Force Thunderbirds, returns on May 10th and 11th. Don't miss adrenaline-filled military and civilian performances, aircraft on display, and much, much more. Visit ToledoAirShow.com.
Save money on your mobile phone bill. Introducing Max Mobile, Buckeye Broadband's new mobile phone service. Max Mobile brings you reliable, unlimited talk and text. All you bring is your current phone, with plans starting as low as $29.99 per month per line. In 24/7 local customer service, Max Mobile is the smart choice. Switch to Max Mobile now and get a $100 e-gift card. Switching is easy. Just call 419-828-0200 or stop into one of our Brainiacs Tech Hubs and get signed up.
Are you watching a big sporting event with friends, having a party, or are you just too tired to make dinner? Then you need to call Mama Mary's Pizza, home of the famous 28-inch colossal pizza equal to 4 large pizzas. Mama Mary's Pizza is authentic New York-style thin crust pizza. The thinner the crust, the better the taste. Get great discounts when you order online at MamaMarysPizza.com. Just go to the menu page and click on the deals. Located in Hollywood on Airport Highway, across from the big Kroger. Mama Mary's Pizza.
ESPN 100.7 right now, traffic.
No unusual slowdowns, no incidents at this time on your Monday afternoon commute. If you're seeing anything we're not, let us know. That's your Cumulus Toledo right now traffic.
The 2025 NCAA Men's Basketball Tournament has been a great ride with crazy finishes and some dominating performances. And now it's down to just one more game for the title. Tune in Monday night to hear Western One's exclusive coverage of the NCAA Men's Championship game right here.
Coverage begins at 6 o'clock here on Toledo's home for hoops, ESPN 100.7 The Ticket.
Denny Schaefer.
He's more than just a pretty face. He has got a great torso and incredible calves, and that chin could crack a walnut, couldn't it? Yes.
He's an idiot.
On 100.7 The Ticket.
Yeah, I'm pretty much an idiot everywhere. There you go. Welcome back. Second hour of Denny Radio Sports and More. Appreciate you tuning by. And if you're watching on Twitter right now, you follow us at Denny Radio on X or at Denny Radio on YouTube. You see a third face on the screen. Ladies and gentlemen, say hello to the one, the only, the man, the myth, the legend, Jim Heller, the voice of the Lady Rockets. And he knows more about sports than I have. He remembers. No, wait a minute. You know about sports than I ever knew. I don't know how that saying goes. Anyway, you know a lot about sports. Hello, Jimmy.
How are you, buddy?
What's up, Joe?
What's going on, Chris Hollywood?
Why does your microphone sound so goofy, dude?
He's in a tunnel.
Sounds like you're in a big friggin' tunnel.
Well, I bought this computer in 1997.
Okay.
So I'm figuring, this is state-of-the-art technology in my world.
Okay. Well, we'll just have to do our best with what we have. It's better than the phone, so we know that. All right, give me your thoughts on what happened yesterday, the NCAA tournament. UConn just spanking South Carolina. Were you as surprised as the rest of us? Go.
A little bit. I felt that South Carolina used a lot of their ammunition to beat UCLA in the semifinals. And once they got that game out of hand, I thought maybe the Dawn would pull the plug and get her starters off the floor. She didn't. She kept pouring it on. I'm thinking, I don't know if that's a good idea. And South Carolina didn't have one starter in that championship game.
So you think that South Carolina maybe was tired because of the UCLA game?
No, I wouldn't say tired. I think it would have been.
Okay, your mic is cutting in and out, dude. Hold on.
They were flying in and out. They had to go play a regional in Spokane, Washington. So if anybody should have been tired, it should have been Connecticut.
Got it. Okay. So it was UConn came out with such fire.
Right.
I watched the entire game, and they weren't going to be denied. I told Sharon that. I'm like, UConn's winning this game. And then it just got ugly. And then every friggin' break seemed to go their way, especially in the second half. UConn would, shoot a three and they're up by 20 and they'd get their own freaking rebound. I'm like, oops, South Carolina, this is not your day, my man.
Connecticut was plus 10 points in the paint. And that's typical Gino Auriemma basketball. Let's give credit to where it's due. That's his 12th title. Pat Summitt won 8. Don Staley's won 3. But for Gino, I felt that maybe he felt the pressure that this had to be the year because he had a healthy Paige Beckers. He had a healthy Azzi Flood, which has been not a lot in the last 4 years when both of them have been healthy at the same time. And those two were prize picks out of their respective senior classes. So if it was going to happen for Connecticut, it was going to happen now.
Well, I'll tell you, they both played well. And who's was it Green? Who's the one that you like, Chris, that played so well? The other girl? Who's the other three? The big three that they have for UConn?
Well, Sarah Strong is just a freshman.
Yeah, Sarah.
Yeah.
She played 37 minutes, 24 points, 15 rebounds.
And a freshman.
She's a freshman?
Yeah.
Yeah, look out.
Yeah. Dude,
UConn might be pretty decent next year, too.
You think? So with Gino winning 12, even though he had been, questioning himself, hasn't won it since 2016, thinking, well, you know what, I'm getting older. Maybe the game has passed me by. Obviously, that is not the case. So here's a question. Is this a fair question? Is Gino Auriemma the greatest college basketball coach of all time, either men or women's? Your thought, Jim Heller?
You have to put him in the discussion. It's very hard for me to say that I want to put Gino Auriemma in front of Pat Summitt. I have a hard time doing that.
Why?
But right now, he's the king of the hill.
Doesn't he have
Can't
more
debate
wins?
it.
Doesn't he have more wins than she does? Isn't he?
Oh, absolutely.
Right. So.
Well, remember, though, back then, 28, 29 games was a regular season. Now these teams are playing what, 40, 41 a year?
Oh, okay. So because of that, but still 8 championships versus.
Still got to win them, Jim.
Yeah.
Oh no, absolutely. I'm not debating that one bit. And I think if anything, what Gino has done is forced every other Power 4 program to step up their game.
Yeah. Well, it was a fun game to watch, and
it was.
Yeah, I enjoyed it. And okay, so anything else you want to mention about that game? I got a couple other things to ask you.
The one thing, I was very happy for Paige Beckers. I was very happy for Azzi Flood. because those two coming out of high school had as much hype as Caitlin Clark, if not more. And to see both of them finally stay healthy enough for an entire season and to win a national championship at the same time and do it for their coach. Because I'm sure a lot of people were talking, well, Gino doesn't have the stuff anymore. Oh, yeah, he does.
Well, that had to be, he had to question himself. Hasn't been there since 2016. And, you just get to a point where it's like, you know what, maybe I should get out of the way and leave it to somebody younger. People say that about me in radio, and then they tune in and go, oh, man, this guy's still got it. He's bringing it every day, on a hot radio station like 100.7 The Ticket.
Well, if you've got the juice, grab a glass.
Now that is a sticker. If you got the juice, grab a glass. I love it. All right, Jimmy, what do you think is going to happen tonight?
I don't know how Houston beat Duke. Okay. I got to wonder if Kelvin Sampson, has the secret sauce, or maybe he has the recipe of the Colonel's 7 secret herbs and spices that we don't. You've got to play 40 minutes. And I think Houston plays such good defense, even though Florida is a fun team to watch. I got to go with Houston playing D, because I tell you something, they came up with 6 points out of thin air in 30 seconds against Duke that I didn't think they were going to get. So, for whatever reason, Houston's got the secret sauce right now, and I got to go with them.
Well, and they play such great defense, and they're physical. So we'll see if Florida can handle that. But Walter Clayton Jr., man, that dude is a freaking beast.
He's a beast. And you know what? Maybe this is the Midwest in me talking. I don't want to see the SEC win an NCAA tournament in basketball. I had enough of that garbage with Kentucky for most of my life. All right. I want to see Houston in the Big 12.
Yeah.
What's left of the Big 12? It's now the Big 2.5.
Yeah, that is true. So it should be an exciting game. 8:50-ish will be the tip, and the Den Man will be watching because I don't have to go to bed early. So
I heard you.
All right, so there's Lady Rockets news. I am sure you saw this over the weekend that head coach Jenny Bodges, she got an extension through 2029-2030. AD Brian Blair announced on Friday. My question is, and I'm not trying to be a jerk just to stir it up, or maybe I am, whose players did she coach this year?
Whose players?
Yeah, was that Trisha Collop's team, or how much of that was hers?
Well, you have 4 wonderful new guards that are going to be the foundation of this team. 3 of them she brought in. So you could say, yeah, that some of that was Trisha's team. Some of it was Jenny's.
I just think it's premature. I mean, it's like, okay, let her have a second season. What's the urgency to lock her up?
I think the urgency to lock her up is when you come into a program with 5 seniors who are under the tutelage of another coach for almost their entire collegiate career. She comes in with a totally new offense, brings in a slightly different mentality, wins 24 games, gets to the MAC championship in her first year, gets into the WBIT in her first year, and does all this while following a legend. Yeah, I might want to keep her around for a few years. That's my take.
Lock her up then. So is this the part where you tell me I'm full of crap?
Nope.
You can tell me that. I'm a big boy. I don't know. How many year deal did she have? Didn't she have like a 3-year deal?
Yeah, it's a couple of years, and now it's a couple more.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's good for Toledo women's
It
basketball.
is. And, I mean, here's the other statistic. We were 4,125 fans per game.
That's amazing.
Slightly up from a year ago. How'd that happen?
That's impressive. And the men had 87. I think it was 87 fans a game at their home games. I mean, it's not even close. What is the men? Does anybody even keep track of that? They do 1,000 on average. I mean,
it's pretty close between the men and the women.
No way.
Yeah, it is.
No, it can't be.
It is.
I went to 2 games this year, and I was blown away. The lack of fandom. I don't know. I guess I mean, I know you're dialed in as the voice of the Lady Rockets. But you can't argue the energy level for the women, the fans, and the energy level for the men, not even close. I mean, the fans that come in for the women, I mean, they're rabid fans, and it just seems like for the men, it's just like people seem bored half the time.
Women's basketball in Toledo, Ohio is a social event. It's a little bit more than a 40-minute game. And I credit that to an incredible fan club. I credit that to an administration that realizes it has a hot ticket in women's basketball. And I credit that to the people of Toledo, Ohio, who have supported this team for well over 35 years.
All right. So did the women lose anybody into the portal like the men's team did? The men lost so many and starters and all that. Did Ginny lose any players?
Not yet.
Well, it probably would have happened by now, wouldn't it?
I would think.
So that right there tells you a lot about a coach. If you're not losing players, like soon as the portal opens and like, boom, look at all the starters for the men for the Rockets. It's like, we're going. But,
well, the funny thing is, I was chatting this morning with Jack Cruiser, who's the play-by-play guy for Buffalo's women. And they won the WNIT yesterday. The last team out of the Mid-American Conference to do that?
Toledo.
You got it. And I said, I hope you're savoring this, man. I hope you're enjoying every minute of it. And he says, yeah, I'm worried about the portal.
Really? You win the NIT and a bunch of players are going to bail.
Yeah.
Well, that's about money. I mean, how many MAC players are in the WNBA?
Right now, none.
Yeah. So they got to make the money through the NIL. So I guess I don't blame them. Now, speaking of that, I'm going to ask you a football question. You okay with that?
I'll try.
All right. DeQuan Finn, one of the most decorated players in the University of Toledo history at quarterback. He went into the portal. He was at Toledo, lit it up with the record books, and then he goes to Baylor, and then he stinks out loud. And then he's not going to get the starting job there. So he goes back into the portal. He showed interest that he wanted to come back to Toledo, and it looks like Toledo's like, nah, I don't think so. You left, you're out. So now he's going to be playing for Miami, and Toledo and Miami play in November in Miami. And he says he's playing with a chip on his shoulder. I don't know how you have a chip on your shoulder. You left Toledo, but whatever. Give me your thoughts on Finn and what that game might look like in November.
Well, I tell you what, nobody in the Mid-American Conference is going to win a game by themselves, unless your name's Kareem Hunt. That's another story for another time. I certainly don't have any ill will towards the young man. He took his chances and rolled the dice, just like the other 1,700 college basketball players that are in the portal. It didn't work out. The only time you hear about the NIL being a big success is when it does work out for somebody. Well, the majority of them, it doesn't.
Right.
I hope he has learned from what happened in Toledo, and I hope he has learned from what the experience he had in Waco, Texas, and hopefully he's matured a little bit. But I wouldn't be going to the press and saying I'm going to be talking smack for this Toledo game. No, your job is to go to whatever school you're playing for and help them win a MAC championship, and that should be it. Period.
Well, here's his quote. If Toledo was interested in me, yeah, that possibly could have been the case, but they moved on and I moved on. That's the most I can say about that. All right. It sounds to me like his first choice was to come back to Toledo, and Toledo's like, nah.
Oh, see, I don't know that. And I don't know if you can read one quote and peel the onion back that far to find that out. If things were going well, he wouldn't have left in the first place. So my thought is this. If that's going to put butts in seats in Yager Stadium next year, great. Fantastic. It's an eye-catching headline. It's an eye-catching quote. I don't really think in the overall scheme of things it's going to make a lick of difference for Toledo or Miami of Ohio. You have to win with 11.
Yeah, agreed. But I still think that Toledo's going to have extra motivation that day. I know he will too.
Sure.
Playing his old school, but the Rockets as a whole, I mean, he left them, and did he leave ugly? I mean,
not that I'm aware of. I think he went and sniffed for a better opportunity, which is what all of them are doing these days.
Yeah, and I don't have a problem with that. But I talked to somebody who is dialed in with football over there, and let's just say that he didn't have the best reputation as far as, you know, getting along. You know, he was kind of a pain in the butt.
Well, and you know, Toledo is not going to have a quarterback each and every year that's going to have the personality of like a Bruce Gradkowski or a Philip Ely or, you know, some of the other great ones that have come through. You know, some of them are going to be friendly people, and others of them are going to be strictly business. You know, I think you get a 50-50 shot every year. But Jason Candle's got to find a guy that's going to lead his team, motivate the team, and do so with a team-first philosophy.
Well, we'll see. Hopefully good things. They've done well in recruiting, and they're expected to be pretty decent again this fall. So
They do very well in recruiting every year.
Yeah, they're like number one recruiter in the MAC. All right, let's go on record. When are we getting together and have that cigar at Angelo's, my man?
About a week from Thursday.
Is that Holy Week? Yeah, I can't do it.
Week's Holy Week with cigars.
No, dude, I gotta wait till after Easter. I've got I'm doing a 21-day fast through our church.
Oh, good on you, man.
Well, no, it's stupid, dude. It's like, okay, I'm fasting from cigars and alcohol for 21 days, and then after Easter, it's like, all right, let's go get liquored up. I mean, it makes no sense that, you know, you give it up for a time and then you go right back to it. You know what I mean? The whole Lenten thing has always bothered me.
It's called patience, young man.
Patience. Okay. All right, I'll be patient.
Wise words from Heller right there, man.
That's it.
Got it.
All right, so the week after Easter, we'll get together. All right, Jimmy?
I would look forward to that. And actually, I'm a little disappointed in you in Hollywood.
Why is that?
Neither one of you could tell me who is Rolf Benershka.
I see Rolf Benershka, and I'm like, okay, that's his name he's got on his video. Who is Rolf Benershka?
Perhaps the greatest place kicker in the history of the San Diego Chargers. And I used to watch the West Coast games just to hear the announcers botch his name. Okay. I would sit up for Monday Night Football. None of them could pronounce it. And I thought, you know what? If I'm able to pluck this out of the archives, then Denny and Chris would know. Yeah, Rolf Benershka.
That was way before my time, buddy.
And I was a kid
and Chris, I'm going to give you a pass on this one, but Denny and I, you know, we're pretty close in age. You know, we'll be battling for spots in the same nursing home here very, very soon.
Yeah, I'm not going to live that long to ever get there. Anyway, and I was a kicker in high school, and you would think that I would know, you know, in the 70s and some of the greatest kickers, but no, Ralph Benershka doesn't even ring a bell. Sorry.
I'm disappointed, lads.
Eddie Murray. There you go. If you'd have come up Eddie Murray, I would have said, okay, all right, Lions kicker.
Eddie Murray's a very good one.
Yeah. Isn't he in the Hall of Fame, or should be?
He should be. I agree.
All right, Jimmy, great to have you on as always. Thank you, my friend, and we'll talk soon.
Always a pleasure, gents. Thanks for your time.
All right, Jim, have a good one, man.
Jim Heller, ladies and gentlemen, the voice.
Like we haven't talked to Jim in like 4 weeks.
I know, he was on like every day, and it's like, I'm starting to feel guilty. I'm going to have to put the guy in the payroll. Tell you what, let's go have a cigar. That'll keep him distracted.
Yeah, that's how you do it.
That was fun. Anyway, he's a good dude. All right, there you go. He's always got insight that we don't have. So there you go. All right, where are we at in time? How much time we got?
We can go ahead and break. I got Andre in the studio, so we're ready to rock and roll here.
Okay, let me see. Do I have anything else here? No, we'll do. Let me check and see if we have any text here before. Before we. No text. You people are slackers today. You're dragging on Monday. You guys must be hungover. All right, we'll come back with Black and White Sports host Andre of the Savages, and that's next on 100.7 The Ticket.
Denny Schaefer is Denny Radio on 100.7 The Ticket.
Hey everyone, it's AJ from St. Mary's Meats. Did you ever
We
wonder
got
where your
about
meat
5
comes
minutes
from?
with this
Well,
one.
St. Mary's Meats does and cares. With all of our fresh and frozen meat selections cut weekly, as well as our 33 flavors of brats and 19 flavors of snack sticks made in-house, plus getting local beef,
55.
lamb, and hogs in, we care about our quality. We're located just west of Seacourt Metro Park. Check St. Mary's Meats out on Facebook, and remember, we're killing it and you're grilling it.
Hold on.
Hi, it's Mookie. Searching for the perfect diamond is about more than just the cut, clarity, and carat. And that's where Northwood Jewelers is here to help. If it's an earth mined or lab-grown diamond, Northwood Jewelers is your go-to jewelry destination. With 3 generations of expertise, from beautiful rings, stunning necklaces, permanent jewelry, or even their collection of birthstones.
I wish I would have had that
Visit
ready
Northwood
for him.
Jewelers, 4612 Woodville Road, online at northwoodjeweler.com. Northwood Jewelers, service before, during, and after the sale.
You know what makes a great time even better? Great deals. So when you're having a great time playing pool with your friends at Miss Q, keep this in mind. On Monday, get $1 off any tall draft. And on Tuesdays, all hot dogs and bottled beers are only $3. So grab some friends or even your family and head to Miss Q, where the fun just gets better. Find us on Reynolds near Glendale and Alexis near Telegraph, or online at MissQToledo.com.
How do you know it's the best internet? Because it's from Buckeye Broadband, your #1 local choice. Get this area's fastest internet. Starting at only $29.99 a month, Buckeye Broadband has this region's only 10-gig fiber optic network, bringing you unmatched speed and reliability. And now, save money on your mobile phone bill. Get reliable, unlimited talk and text with Max Mobile from Buckeye Broadband. All you bring is your current phone. Don't wait. Call, click, or stop in today. Call 419-724-9800. Some restrictions apply. Visit BuckeyeBroadband.com for complete offer details.
Looking for a good time? Come check out what the Polish Ostrich has to offer. With daily food specials, happy hour till 6, and power hour from 6 to 7. That's half off beer from 6 to 7. And there's always something going on at the Ostrich. From karaoke to open jam or even a DJ. Original live music. We jam all night. Plus, don't forget our game room complete with all the classics, including air hockey and pinball. Make sure you stop by and check us out on Facebook or Instagram. What are you waiting for? Get to the Polish Ostrich today, 944 Phillips Avenue, Toledo.
Who's ready to get easy breezy, Dundee?
Matthew.
And Rhonda here from Williams Brothers, Dodge, Chrysler, Jeep, and Ram.
And this month, it's a breeze to get keys.
Because right now, you could drive a new Jeep for just $3 down during our Jeep Celebration Sales event.
That's right. We're making car buying easy.
So if your old ride blows,
release it like dust in the wind.
And drive a new Jeep you love for just $3 down.
Even if you've heard no in the past.
It'll all blow over at Williams Brothers.
See, we're all about acceptance and affordability.
With us, it's a breeze to get keys.
That means you can car shop with ease. We work hard to help you find a car you love.
For a monthly payment you can afford.
So blow off your old ride.
And drive a new Jeep for just $3 down today.
But hurry and run like the wind.
Because just like spring, the deal will blow away soon.
I'm Matthew.
And I'm Rhonda.
We're your dealers for the people. See all our rides at DundeeDealmakers.com.
That's DundeeDealmakers.com.
$3 down require bank approval. Negative equity may be refinanced. Offer absolutely ends April 30th, 2025.
Hi, I'm Abigail Mann.
And I'm Jeff Mann. And we'd like to welcome you and invite you to Jeffrey Mann Fine Jewelers.
I love gemstones. One of the values that I bring as a graduate gemologist is expertise. Each gemstone tells its own individual story that I am excited to share with you. Let me introduce you to the world of colored gemstones. I can help you find exactly what you're looking for.
So if you're shopping for a birthday, an anniversary, or just because, not only do we have the only selection of man-made diamonds in the area, we have a complete selection of bracelets, earrings, necklaces. We have beautiful, breathtaking, amazingly unique styles to choose from. Items that you will not find anywhere else in the area.
Jeffrey Mann Fine Jewelers, 5247 Monroe Street in Toledo. JeffreyMannFineJewelers.com.
Are you watching a big sporting event with friends, having a party, or are you just too tired to make dinner? Then you need to call Mama Mary's Pizza, home of the famous 28-inch colossal pizza equal to 4 large pizzas. Mama Mary's Pizza is authentic New York-style thin crust pizza. The thinner the crust, the better the taste. Get great discounts when you order online at MamaMarysPizza.com. Just go to the menu page and click on the deals section, located in Holland on Airport Highway, across from the big Kroger. Mama Mary's Pizza.
Hello? Is this thing on? Testing? Testing? Well, I heard you loud and clear.
The Denny Schaefer Show on 100.7 The Ticket.
We are about ready to hand the microphone over to Andre in Black and White Sports. Andre of the Savages. Last call to be part of the nah, screw it. No one's going to call. So.
You're right. It's 4:00. The call stopped.
That's it. Andre, welcome to the show. How'd you do this weekend?
Moderate. I'm not really upset. I'm so glad you opened this way, Mr. Schaefer. First and foremost, good afternoon to you. Thank you.
Good afternoon.
As always, appreciate you in Hollywood in the building.
What's up, man?
Listen, here's what's up, Chris. Mr. Schaefer. Mm-hmm. There's a guy who called last Thursday. And because you are who you are, I tried to assist this guy. And we gave him free money because we haven't heard from him because we don't know what he picked. I know what we told him to play. Now, if he didn't do that and crapped out, that's him. But I suspect that he made the play and we haven't heard from this guy, or have we?
Oh, Jack King? No, I haven't heard.
Yeah, he called Thursday and he was looking for some advice. You gave him some
money.
advice. And yeah, I wonder.
Yeah.
At some point, he's a working man. He's got a gig. I'm sure we'll hear from him.
Yeah, something like that. See, I'm concerned, though, because usually they like to brag, but no, he must have got away and skated on us because that 15.5, if you guys will recall, was the Washington Wizards. See, remember I went through my whole dissertation about you're not going to make that play. You know, who's going to bet on Washington? Why would you do it? You think to yourself, there's no way in hell. But there you go.
Yeah, so either my guess is maybe he didn't listen to it and he ended up losing his butt. So he
didn't want to tell us. Yeah, that's what it is. He didn't want to tell us. He didn't want to tell us.
The only time, like, any I have family and friends that go to the casino quite regularly. The only time you hear from them about their casino antics is when they win. They never talk about when they lose.
Nobody there. They don't send no slips. Right?
That's never fun. All right. By the way, Tigers 0-0, bottom of the third, and 2 guys on for the Tigers, and somebody's on first and second, so 1 out. So hopefully the Tigers are, even though they're playing and looks like, on and off snow showers up in Detroit right now, which is kind of funny.
The Bombers in town.
Yeah, I don't know about you guys, but I'm over this friggin' weather. I wanted to get up at least into the 60s, but they say by the weekend maybe, so let's hope so. All right, Andre, give me your point, your observations on tonight NCAA Finals, Florida or Houston.
Let me be honest. I don't have a real scientific breakdown for the people. I can only tell you this, that I would caution everybody, because a lot of times people will lean toward, what do they call it? Prisoners of the moment type of energy. And so you saw Houston, you saw the heroic comeback. You see the energy with these guys. They've been running the video of their practice and how aggressive they are, blah, blah, blah. Well, this Florida outfit is what it has been, and I caution you not to get tricked when that -1.5 is on the board like that, especially because it's so close. It means it's like a coin flip. That's the energy they're trying to create. I say don't fall for it. I say if this game is lopsided at all, Florida definitely wins. If it's a squeaker, then maybe something kooky goes on like with Houston the other night, but they did that to the gamblers and everybody's Duke money. That's what you guys saw. And that's where we're at now. Most people, like our man Jeff, we have a guy that's going to come on here in a moment. He's going to come on and make this case for Houston. I'm going to argue against him because, again, I think that might be the sucker play is the Houston thing. But that's where I'm at, Denny. It's not for anything, nothing basketball relative. You know what I mean? It's a referee's game tonight, ladies and gentlemen.
So when I don't gamble much, but when I do, the number that always intrigues me is the over-under. And it looks like the over-under on this game is 140.5. If I was gonna bet on this game, I would go under.
For sure.
I like that.
Because it just Houston's defense, what they did to freaking Duke, where Duke only had they had a bucket in the last 10 minutes. I mean, they just shut them down. If they can do that against Florida, the under is going to be under 140. That's my guess.
I think you just may see a more defensive situation just because of the stakes here, and I think the effort might qualify that more than because if I'm being honest, I watched the game and I kind of watched it over again just before I got on here today to make sure it's what I thought I saw. And Duke missed a lot of opportunities there. You know what I mean? There were shots missed because I'm going to have some criticism of Cooper Flagg as a result of that. I mean, he still was solid throughout the game, but what I need from you and the guy they're selling you as, that's not you. And if it were you, there would have been a Leitner outcome. And so that's what I saw. But we're going to do that at 4:00, sir. But like I said, I don't know that it's Houston so much as what they did and more of what Duke didn't do. And so, but shots out. No, all due respect. The plays were there.
I was gonna say Houston was playing deep.
No, they play. I mean, I'm not saying that's not to suggest, but the way Denny's described it, if you didn't see it, you know what I mean? You would think they locked them down. It was a real clamp down. It was a mixture. How about that, Mr. Schaefer? It was a mixture. You know what I mean? There you go.
All I know is I didn't expect that outcome. I thought Duke was going to win. I thought and especially when they were up, I'm like, okay. And then boom, I went to bed and I woke up. I'm like, holy crap, Houston won. Crazy.
There you go. It can be like that. So buckle up.
Right. You and Josh B have a great show, and we'll do it again tomorrow. All right, tomorrow on the show, I have no idea what we're doing, Chris. We just make it up as we go. That's the beauty. That's it. Denny Radio Sports and More. Let's get out of here.
I'm out of here.
Chris, great job as always. Thank you, my man. Until next time, this is Denny Schaefer saying, do what you love. It's freedom. Loving what you do, that's happiness. Keep dreaming and love the one who loves you most. See ya, Toledo.
ESPN 100.7 right now, traffic.
Just an accident at this time of your commute, disabled semi on the right shoulder. 75 southbound just before 280. That